get back to your point, yeah, content is number one. You got to have good content because that is the king of all kings. But then the engagement part, the queen part, is what brings the engagement together. So you got to have a combination of both. And I found that questions, engagement type questions, is the best way to get people going because I put some what I would call some stellar stuff out there that was just more of like let's see what I put out there yesterday. It was something about you have to go to my page and look. But to me, that was stellar content, but it didn't really get a lot of people engaging. Now, who knows how many people look at it? I mean, the one thing about Facebook that you don't really know, you've got 5,000 connection. I've got somewhere in that same neighborhood. When you put something out there, how many people are really seeing it? And it's kind of funny because you kind of engage with like the same group in a way. And, you got 50 or 60 people that are really showing up on a daily basis, but you got all these other people out there. And how many of them are actually seeing your stuff but just aren't saying anything? I think there's quite a few. And one of the reasons why I figured this out was because, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but I've got a digital business card platform that I'm kind of in the process of rolling out. And I gave free trials. I said, hey, anybody that wants a free trial for a week, I'm going to go ahead and give you a free trial because I need to see if there's any bugs and anything not working right, which I've already found a couple. But the one interesting thing that I found out that there's quite a few people that are on this free trial that I have no idea who they are. They're on my friends list, but they're not people that have engaged with me before. And because the people that engage with you, just like I know the people engage with me, and I'm looking down all these free trials and I can pick out the 10 or 15 that engage on a daily basis or whatever. But then there's all these other people. I'm like, where did these people come from? So, again, your stuff is probably further out there in the Facebook land than what you would think it is. But it's an interesting platform, and it's hey, it's a great learning experience.
Yeah, it is. And I want to speak to that, man, as far as the people who are seeing and watching that don't say anything. So there's people like you and me and the 50 or so people that watch on a regular basis that do engage with us, that we value and we understand that engagement. And, as a matter of fact, I want to say thank you right now. I see you commenting on my stuff. I see you liking it or wowing it or sending a meme. And that is so important. And I try to do it back as well. So, hopefully you've noticed that I do the same thing. It's important because the more likes we get,
Yeah.
the more people we reach. But there is two other types of people. One of them are easy to understand. That's the haters. They're just going to watch and they're going to send messages to their friends, throwing darts at you and throwing darts at your content. They'll never like or dislike you in public.
Right.
And that's fine. Sometimes they will. And I like, man. So, I have a personal page and then I have our business page. And I have our LinkedIn page. I got Instagram, and I have people that help me monitor those things. And Brady, he's the producer today, he has access to those. And, when they see a negative comment pop up sometimes from a hater or somebody that just doesn't understand what I'm doing, they'll hide it or get rid of it. But I've trained them on how to leave it up there and then respond to it. And if you respond to it properly, what you're doing is you're showing everyone else who sees it, number one, you're a class act. Number two, the person who attacks you, if you respond properly, you'll kind of make them look silly. You'll be the guy that's saying, hey, man, I'm sorry you don't like that. I understand your point of view. It may look like it's silly for me to have this point of view, but here's why. And by the way, please forgive me if I've ever said anything to you that was, hurtful. I didn't mean to, whatever. So, you take the high road and you articulate that in a response. It'll win you over some more fans. Okay. Now, but then there's the third person who are many times your personal friends. They are on your side. But they just don't understand, number one, that it's very valuable to support somebody on Facebook, or they just don't like commenting. They like to stay under the radar. They don't like to be seen. But here's how I know that there is a lot of them. if you've ever gone, and I'm sure you have, if you go to NADA or Digital Dealer, you go to any conference or even any big group party where a lot of people on there are in the car business, people, after they have a few drinks, Scott, they'll come up to you and say, hey, man, I see what you're doing. I'm watching you on Facebook all the time, man. You guys are just killing it. And I'm like, I've never seen you comment on Facebook before.
Yeah.
So Scott, trust me when I tell you,
That's
they're
funny.
watching. And there's tons of them.